Bet you weren't expecting this kind of video on a stop motion channel. I wanted to make this video for two reasons. One, being able to talk about this Foo figure and how mid it is. Second is to open up my content some more. Doing this can be a great first step to doing more videos in the future rather than just stop motion. Now this won't be a full review, I'll just be telling you what I think you should be aware of when you do buy this figure, if you do. Now this figure first released at the end of May in 2023. It's now been 1 week into June, and I just got it out, and I already have a lot of problems with this figure. The good thing is, she looks great. I love her sculpting, and I love her face here, and I love the way her body is sculpted. But the biggest problem is how she's put together. First small complaint is her hands. They're not too bad, honestly. Some go on very well, some kind of struggle to go on. But one of my hands, the hole is too small to be able to fit onto her little joint here. So if I try to slip it on, it doesn't. I also don't want to apply too much force because I don't want to break it. Those are not the same size. Now granted, that is an easy fix, but I shouldn't have to do it myself. Next thing I want to talk about are the duplicate heads. I imagine people got 2 of this head. Reason being is her second head right here, with this small little Foo effect, probably got mixed up. They probably thought it was supposed to be this one. Now this one looks good, but this one, it doesn't look that great. That little Foo effect in her eye is not very strong. Once again, I haven't actually seen the duplicate heads, I've just heard it around. The next problem is with her torso. It just pops off. Now I get they probably wanted to give her a lot more flexibility, but the fact that it just pops off very easily without me having to strain at all is a big problem. Sometimes I'll be pushing it onto its little stand here and it'll just pop off. Her torso is also very loose. Sometimes it just flops over. You'll push it up and it flops over. Now granted, of course it's not showing it that well, but still. The fact that it flops over is not something it should do. It should be very strong and hold up. Especially if you're posing this figure, you don't want it to be flopping over randomly. Next problem are her legs. Now you may notice that one of her kneecaps is gone. This broke off on day 1, as I was posing her around right out of the box. Now, granted, I still have it, and you can easily just pop it back on. Well, assuming you put it on the right way. There you go. You can pop it back on. But it does kind of pop out a bit easily. Now, if I actively try to, of course it's not going to, but it will just randomly pop out. Or, yeah, there you go. That shouldn't happen either. Now, granted, I do have problems with Medicos figures, kneecaps, and elbow bits popping off, but once you attach them, they typically stay on pretty easily. But again, that's not just a Foo thing, that is a Medicos thing. Next are her legs, and they're very flimsy. You can see them shaking around. They shouldn't do that. I was having this problem a lot last night as I was trying to film in stop motion. I was trying to do a kick effect, and this kept happening. Her leg would just not stand up. I do not have this problem with any other figure. For example, my Jolene figure. Her legs can stand up perfectly fine. But Foo, on the other hand, yeah, her legs don't stand up very well. Some other problems include her legs popping off very easily and not going back on very easily, but that's just a small complaint, so it's not too bad. This figure almost feels like a bootleg, but I can guarantee you that it's not. The website where I bought this figure has sold me many Medicos figures, and they were all amazing quality. Never like this. One point you may bring up is the fact that she's meant to be posed on a shelf and not touched as often, and probably not for stop motion. But let's compare Foo, who I've had for 1 week, to the World, who I've had for about 2 years. Now, the only thing missing are his knee pads, 1 knee pad, and 1 arm pad. But I still have them, so it's fine. I can just reattach them. But his arms stay up. There's a little bit in the ab crunch, but that's not too bad. And his legs actually stay up. Now, I've had this figure for 2 years, and I've posed it and played with it many, many times. And it's still fine after 2 years. This Foo figure came out of the box like this. Some of these problems, again, I had as they came out of the box. It wasn't me playing around with it too much or messing with it too much. It came out like this. But maybe I just got a really bad Foo figure. It's a shame because I was going to use her more in my stop motions, but I may have to stray away from that if it's this bad. But I want to know, if you got a Foo figure, let me know. Is it this bad or did I just get a really unlucky one? I want to know if I'm not alone. I hope you enjoyed this different kind of video though. Again, I may try to do more videos like this, maybe more figure reviews or more problems with figures I've had, but we'll see. Anyways, next video should be coming out soon, hopefully. Assuming this Foo figure doesn't fucking break on me.